Show me your hands! Do it! Got a gun! Got a gun! Drop it!
The hallway of Novant Health Huntersville Medical Center should have been silent that night. Instead, a burst of gunfire ripped through the air, turning pages on a nurse's binder as if a storm had erupted indoors. Moments earlier, a 76-year-old Hurricane Irma evacuee, exhausted, confused, and clutching a firearm, had stepped into that hallway. Nurses fled. Security panicked. Officers raced toward the second floor as radios crackled, shots fired at the hospital. How does an elderly patient manage to bring a gun into a hospital, and what chain of events pushed officers to open fire? Hours before the shooting, 76-year-old James Charles Cook arrived at Novant Health Huntersville Medical Center as a vulnerable evacuee escaping Hurricane Irma. He was not a criminal, nor a threat in anyone's mind, just an elderly man seeking stability after being forced from his Florida home. Hospital staff placed him in a room for overnight monitoring. No one suspected he was carrying a handgun concealed in his luggage. But shortly before midnight, everything changed. A nurse entered Cook's room around 11:30 p.m., expecting to check his vitals. Instead, she froze as Cook pulled a firearm from his suitcase, and panic exploded instantly. She fled the room and returned with an unarmed security guard. Before either could intervene, a gunshot echoed from behind the closed door, sending shockwaves through the quiet second floor. The guard watched in disbelief as Cook stepped into the hallway with the weapon still in his hand. Staff scrambled to lock down nearby rooms, barricade nurses' stations, and call 911. The hospital, a place of healing, had become a potential active shooter scene. Huntersville police officers Michael Joseph and Travis Watts responded within minutes. They ascended elevators, scanned dim corridors, and moved toward the nurses' station where Cook was last seen. Their radios confirmed the danger. He fired a shot. Armed patient in the hallway.
I need you to lock yourself.
This guy who...
Anything you know, unit says able to clear to assist with perimeter set up on this ADW in Huntersville.
Where the stairs? Okay, I'm taking this. Hey, let me know that the security guy just said he's upstairs.
What triggered Cook's sudden breakdown? How did a disoriented evacuee turn into an armed threat inside a hospital? The answers began unfolding the moment officers rounded that final corner. Officers Joseph and Watts entered the hospital with urgency but caution. Their body cameras captured the surreal quiet of the second-floor doors shut, lights dimmed, the soft hum of medical equipment contrasting sharply with the tension in the air. A nurse pointed them down the hallway, whispering, "He fired. He has a gun."
Hey, let me know that the security guy just said he's upstairs. We find this dude, and we prune him out. You're the only one that's gonna go hands-on with him because he's got a rifle and I got a shield. It's the real deal, dude. Buckle up.
Officer Watts advanced with a ballistic shield, while Joseph held his handgun at the low ready position. The elevator doors closed behind them, trapping them in a maze of sterile white walls and intersecting corridors where any corner could conceal an armed man. As they walked past the nurse's station, a binder on the counter lay open, its pages still fluttering from the earlier gunshot. Footsteps echoed. The officers paused, scanning every doorway. Joseph's voice cut through the silence. "Sir, show me your hands. Show me your hands, do it now." A shadow moved near, room 2265. Another officer's voice shouted, "Got a gun."
Where at?
Down here. Right down here. Go ahead. You'll see him. This place, sir.
Okay, lock yourself down.
I know.
got an armed officer right here looking down that way. He's right on this section now. 5-0 is that for? I'm here.
11-11-21, clear hits the main route.
I don't see anyone.
6203, I need everybody to stay off the Air Force 6.
Hold on, stop.
Sir, show me your hands! Show me your hands! Do it!
The confrontation had begun. What happened next unraveled in seconds fast, chaotic, unavoidable. Before either officer could reposition, the situation exploded. In less than a second after the alert got a gun, multiple shots cracked through the hallway. The muzzle blast created a gust strong enough to flip pages on the nurse's station binder, caught clearly on body cam footage.
Sir, show me your hands! Show me your hands! Do it! Got a gun! Drop it! Austin, get back over here! Sir, put that gun down! Drop the gun!
The 76-year-old man, James Charles Cook, never fully appeared on camera, but both officers later testified that Cook had stepped into the hallway and pointed a handgun directly at Officer Watts. With a shield in his left hand and no time for negotiation, Watts braced while Joseph fired, both acting in near simultaneous response.
Sir, show me your hands! Show me your hands! Do it! Got a gun! Drop it! Austin, get back over here! Sir, put that gun down! Drop the gun!
Cook fell just out of frame, collapsing beside the nurse's station. The hallway filled with the competing sounds of adrenaline boots repositioning, weapons breathing out smoke, officers shouting commands to a dying man who still held the gun. Sir, put that gun down. Drop the gun. Do not move. Do not move. Even after Cook lay motionless, the officers maintained their position. The fear was still active fear of a second shooter, fear of an ambush, fear that Cook might still be capable of firing. One officer called out, "Check our backs, make sure nobody's gonna shoot us." Another asked in disbelief, staring at Cook's suitcase in the doorway, "How in the world did he get a gun in a hospital?"
Hey, Ben, can you just help check all the rooms along that hallway? Check all the rooms, make sure everyone's 10-4.
Come on, anybody going this way?
No. Did you check every room?
You hit a good thought.
Check every room. Every room needs to be checked in that hallway.
I shot that way, sir. From where Brad is?
We're all right here.
Sir?
This way.
But the immediate question was simpler: was the threat truly over? Within seconds, the once quiet medical wing became a controlled battlefield. Nurses ducked behind counters. Patients closed their doors. Officers moved with rigid precision down both sides of the hallway, sweeping for any additional threats. No one yet knew whether Cook had acted alone, or whether the earlier gunshot the nurse heard had been accidental or intentional. "Check every room. Every room needs to be cleared," an officer commanded, his voice clipped with urgency. Bodycam footage shows deputies peeling off into different hallways, guiding hospital staff to safe positions while others stood guard over Cook's still form. As the rest of the second floor was swept, one officer knelt beside Cook, keeping his weapon trained. "Where's the gun?" "Right there. Right there." The handgun lay beside his hand, angled toward the ceiling as if frozen mid-movement.
Hey, Ben, can you just help check all the rooms along that hallway? Check all the rooms, make sure everyone's 10-4.
Come on, anybody going this way?
No. Did you check every room?
You hit a good thought.
Check every room. Every room needs to be checked in that hallway.
I shot that way, sir. From where Brad is?
We're all right here.
Sir?
This way. No. LT.
I'll start making notifications.
Officers confirmed over radio. No officers shot only the suspect. Within minutes, additional units arrived: supervisors, detectives, hospital security. The scene shifted from crisis to containment. Yellow evidence markers would later dot the polished hospital floors, marking bullet impacts, cartridge casings, and Cook's final position. Whispers from shaken staff filled the background. He looked deceased. LT. He looked deceased. By the time the building was fully cleared, the reality of what had happened began sinking in. A 76-year-old patient, an evacuee fleeing a hurricane, had just been fatally shot inside a hospital corridor. But one unanswered question lingered over everyone. Why would an elderly man, already in distress, arm himself inside a hospital? In the days that followed, investigators from the State Bureau of Investigation and the Mecklenburg County District Attorney's Office sifted through every detail leading up to the shooting. What they uncovered painted a complex portrait of a man under extraordinary emotional strain. James Charles Cook was not a criminal. He was a 76-year-old Hurricane Irma evacuee, displaced, frightened, and alone in a hospital hundreds of miles from home. Medical staff later confirmed he arrived exhausted, dehydrated, and emotionally unstable. According to witness interviews, Cook repeatedly expressed fear that people were watching him, a sign investigators believe pointed toward paranoia or acute stress-induced psychosis. Records show that the nurse entered his room just after 11:30 p.m. and saw him reach into his suitcase. When the gun appeared, she immediately fled for help. Moments later, she heard a gunshot, a shot investigators believe Cook fired into the hospital wall, possibly as a cry for help or a warning to perceived threats only he could see. Security footage revealed Cook leaving his room armed, searching the hallway in a disoriented state. Officers later reported that he ignored repeated commands to drop the weapon. The district attorney's report emphasized both officers believed they saw the suspect raise the firearm toward Officer Watts. Under North Carolina law, their response was justified. Investigators found no evidence of malicious intent. Instead, they concluded Cook was suffering a profound psychological break under traumatic circumstances. This raised a difficult question, one that hovered uneasily over the case. Could this tragedy have been prevented if Cook had received mental health intervention sooner? Following a full review, the Mecklenburg County District Attorney ruled the shooting legally justified. Investigators determined that both responding officers genuinely believed Cook was raising his firearm toward Officer Watts, creating an immediate threat of deadly force. Hospital staff confirmed they heard a gunshot before police arrived, further supporting the officers' perception of danger. Cook was pronounced dead at the scene. No officers or hospital personnel were harmed. The investigation closed with the conclusion that officers acted within North Carolina law and department policy. But the legal clarity did little to ease the emotional weight of the event, especially for those who witnessed it. In the end, this tragedy is a reminder of how quickly crisis can overwhelm even the safest spaces. A hospital is meant to heal, not become the scene of a deadly confrontation. For nurses sprinting down hallways, for patients listening in terror behind closed doors, and for officers forced to make a split-second decision, the night left scars no report can erase. Mental decline, fear, confusion, all can push a vulnerable person into actions they may never have taken under clearer circumstances. If you or someone you know is spiraling, reach out, speak up, ask for help. One conversation may stop the next tragedy before it begins.